Emmerdale fans, buckle up. Things are about to get seriously intense in the Dales, and we're not talking about another sheep getting loose. Get ready for a week that's less rolling hills and more rolling heads as Tate unleashes a full-blown revenge plot that's got us on the edge of our seats. Tate, from misunderstood millionaire to master of mayhem. We've all seen Joe's journey, right? From the mysterious newcomer to the guy who thought he had it all, he's been through the ringer. But next week we're seeing a side of Joe that's far from the brooding heartthrob we thought we knew. He's convinced someone's out to get him, and his prime suspect, none other than Billy Fletcher. And let's be real, when Tate feels wronged, he doesn't just send a strongly worded text. He goes big. It all kicks off when Joe's pristine, expensive car gets a nasty, deep key mark. Ouch. For most of us, that's a trip to the body shop and a whole lot of grumbling. For Joe, it's a declaration of war, and his mind immediately jumps to Billy. There's no doubt in Joe's mind that Billy is responsible, our Emmerdale insider spilled. And honestly, can you blame him for suspecting Billy? Billy's motive is clearer than a sunny day in the Dales. Billy totally has a motive. Sneaky Joe stole the love of his life from him, and it's clear that he's still hung up about it. We've all seen those lingering glances, right? That simmering resentment. Yeah, it's been building. When revenge gets personal, escalation station. Now you might think a key card is just the beginning of some petty back and forth, but this is Tate we're talking about. Joe decides to teach Billy a lesson, and for Joe, there's no end to the extreme lengths he could go to. Our source revealed. If he is behind the tricks, Billy is seriously playing with fire. And trust us, when Tate plays with fire, someone usually gets burned. But here's where it gets truly chilling. The very next day, Joe wakes up to a nightmare that goes beyond mere vandalism. Someone has broken into his bedroom and stolen his autoimmune suppressant drugs. Whoa, that's not just a prank, that's a direct threat to his health, his well-being, his life. Panic sets in, and a shaken Joe confides in Sam Dingle, who, bless his heart, tries to be helpful by urging Joe to show Billy who's boss. Sam, honey, maybe sit this one out. Of course, Joe, fueled by fear and a thirst for justice, tries to confront Billy at the depot. But, as our insider puts it, Joe hopes Billy will get his just desserts, but he flounders. Classic. We've all been there, right? Ready to deliver a cutting remark, and it just doesn't land. The search for a right-hand man and a dangerous alliance. This is where Sam, in a moment of unexpected and perhaps ill-advised brilliance, plants a seed. So Sam comes up with the idea that Joe might need a new right-hand man to replace his old assistant Graham in order to help him enact his revenge. And just like that, a light bulb goes off in Joe's head. Think about it. Graham was more than just an assistant to Joe. He was a mentor, a confidant, a fixer. Graham was like a father to Joe, and Joe relied on him to get out of sticky situations and to help put his schemes in motion. Joe misses this reassurance, and Sam's suggestion gives him a very interesting idea. You can almost see the gears turning in Joe's head, mapping out a new, darker path. He needs someone to do his dirty work, someone who isn't afraid to cross lines he himself might hesitate to. And that's precisely what he finds. Later, Joe makes a terrifying connection. He meets up with Sean, a name that should send shivers down any Emmerdale fan's spine. Remember Sean? The no-good crook who stabbed Caleb? Yeah, that's Sean. Joe instructs him to teach Dawn's ex-husband a lesson. And suddenly this whole revenge plot takes a terrifying turn. Billy's life in danger. This is not a drill. Sean's a very dangerous character, our insider grimly reminds us. He stabbed Caleb, so it's clear he's not one to shy away from violence to do Joe's bidding. This isn't just about keying cars anymore. This is about real, raw, dangerous payback. Joe, in his twisted genius, is using Sean as his pawn. Joe takes advantage of his unpredictable nature to see his warped revenge plan through without actually getting his hands dirty. Billy needs to watch his back. And that's the terrifying truth. Joe wants his revenge, but he wants to remain spotless. He wants Billy to feel the pain, the fear, the consequences without ever having to lift a finger himself. But here's the million-dollar question that's keeping us up at night. Just how far will Joe go to make sure Billy gets the message? And with a volatile, violent character like Sean after him, could Billy's life actually be in danger? This isn't just an Emmerdale storyline, it's a high-stakes psychological thriller playing out in our favorite village. Joe's not just seeking revenge, he's dancing on the edge of a very dark abyss. And Billy, he might be in more trouble than he could ever imagine. What do you think? Is Billy truly innocent, or is Joe's gut feeling spot on? And how far is too far for Joe Tate? Let us know your predictions in the comments below.